How's it going, David from Comic Book Investments? So, the Eternals just lifted their review embargo, so critics can review it. And usually they have an embargo because they don't want to spoil anything, so they usually have it a week or two, sometimes 3 weeks out before the movie's released. If it's a crappy movie, they release it like right before the movie comes out, so the bad word doesn't get out. So the Internals review embargo has been lifted, so all the critics have officially watched it. And it is the lowest rated MCU movie of all time by the critics. Now I get it. It's the critics. Who cares what the critics have to say? But I find this kind of interesting. Because, if you watch my videos, you'll see whenever I talk about the Eternals, I'm like, yeah, I'm not that jazzed about it. And when I read the comments, all the other people are like, yeah, they're not jazzed about it. Like, rarely do I see someone who's like super hyped about it. Maybe some people are like interested and they want to see it, but never it's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see it. And all my friends I talk to, no one's like, yes, I must see this movie. It's a must see. And it's getting lower. When I checked it this morning, it was 63. And once it gets to, I believe, 59, it gets this little green thing. This little, it's a bad movie, basically, is what they're saying, Rotten Tomatoes. And I think it's going to hit it. I think it'll be the first MCU movie to hit it. I looked at it. It just didn't seem that interesting, to be honest. I know nothing about the Eternals very much, but it didn't seem that interesting. If we go down here, this is the most recent critic scores. Most of them get them in a green, rotten, basically. And it's, yeah. So the person that directed this movie is the one that directed that lady that pooped in a bucket on film, like actually on screen. Like, weird, whatever. I don't know why you went with this person to do it. So, at once bloated and rushed, the Eternal suffers from frequent lurches in tempo that dispel the occasional moments of tranquil thoughtfulness. That's what I've heard before. Is like it doesn't really the heartfelt moments just seem kind of like a wash. Nothing more of like a paint by numbers type of thing. That's what I've been hearing. I haven't seen it, and I'll probably still see it just because I support all comic book movies, because I want them to be made, and I know there's going to be a lot of bad ones, but I support them anyways because I don't want them to be no good ones. But if we look back here at the history, this is going from newest to oldest. We got Black Widow, 79. Critics gave it 79. Audience gave it 91. Eternals, obviously, that was 62. It's still dropping. Shang-Chi, 92, 98. Captain Marvel, which I thought was one of the worst ones, got a 79. Endgame, 94. Spider-Man, 90. Wasp, 87 for Ant-Man and Wasp. 96 for Black Panther. But if you just look, it's like the all 80s and 90s. Guardians number 2 was 85. Sometimes they're pretty close with the audience score as well. So this was one of my favorites, 89. Age of Ultron, 76 and 83. Yeah, I can see how that one's lower than the rest. Winter Soldier is 90, 92. Let's see. Here's one in the 70s. Iron Man 3 was in the 70s. Pretty close to what the audience thought. Dark World. I think this is the lowest MCU movie. Thor 2, 66, which was not that good, to be honest. 66. So it's worse. Is there a worse one? Hulk with Edward Norton is 67 and 70. I like this movie. But yeah, so Thor number 2 at a 66. So it's worse than Thor 2. According to the critics. And I know the critics aren't everything, but it just kind of feeds into what I've been hearing about. There's just not a lot of, a lot of people that have said nothing overtly positive. I haven't heard anything really good about it. The people that have seen it and the people that want to see it. No one's like, oh my gosh, it's my movie of the year. I haven't heard one single person say that. Not even top 5 movies of the year. If you ask someone, if you ask me what I'm most looking at, the year's almost over, but it'd be Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man movie coming out in a few months. I'm super excited about that, but I'm no one I know. All my nerd friends, Eternals, yeah, I'll watch it. It's just huh. And, and if you want to bring this around to comics, even the comic books are like taking a nosedive. And that's why I'm kind of like, when you buy into these things, you're speculating that they're going to be a good movie. Now, MCU has had a great track record, but I think this will be like, I don't think it will be a bomb, like financially, but in terms of like what it comes down to is how much money will this make? If it makes a lot of money, it doesn't matter how bad the movie is. I mean, they freaking make all those Fast and the Furious movies. And as long as it makes money, they will continue making this. If this is a critic bomb, audience bomb, and then financially it bombs, you'll never see the Eternals again. Like, you might see some of the characters pop up here and there, but good luck ever seeing the Eternals #2. Won't happen. It's just not worth it. I mean, look what happened to Inhumans. They canceled that show halfway through. I think after like the first episode, they canceled it. And yeah, so it's just, I see the MCU, and was it phase 4 are we in now? Phase 5, one of those. It's taking a different turn. And I honestly think the best is behind us. I think Endgame that was it. That was I'm not saying there won't be another good MCU movie, but I'm just thinking that going forward, there are just going to be a lot more misses than hits. And I just think like the new cast aren't really resonating with the audience, like the new people they're trying to put forward. I mean, you got Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. I mean, people loved his portrayal, like loved it. I think basically they're going to need Robert Downey Jr. to come back. Yeah. So, all right, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you guys are super hyped about seeing this, right? Like I said, I haven't heard anyone. Like, the most I've heard is someone like, yeah, I'll go watch it. It looks good, or that's about it. Not like it's my movie of the year, right? Or I thought so when I saw the first trailer. Let me know if you're that person. If you think that this is your movie of the year, it's going to be the greatest movie of all time, maybe, or if you're even going to see it, right? I don't know. And yeah, or if maybe you are a critic or someone that somehow got hold of it, and if you have seen it, maybe down below, let me know what you think of it. Or if you've seen this video after the movie comes out, then comment below as well. Anyways, have a great day.